so I wanted to do a lesson on biomes today. So in your work packets this week, you all got a super duper awesome map that has the different biomes for North America on it. The first thing you're going to do with that map is you're going to color in each of these colors. So this area that is outlined in purple, I want you to go back in and color with a marker or a colored pencil in purple. This part you'll color in green, yellow, orange, and so on. This is kind of a blue-green. What I did with my marker is I first colored over it with a blue marker, and then I went over that same area with a green marker, and it kind of got the color that I needed. So you can do that. So a biome, you guys, is a large region of Earth's surface that has a certain climate and similar things that live there. So one of them, we're going to start at the top here, is the tundra. So the tundra up here is usually pretty far north or very far south, and it is very cold, windy, and not a lot typically grows there that's super tall. It's all like short shrubs and grasses, and eventually as you get farther north or far enough south, nothing is growing at all. It is just ice and cold. Then we have our mountain region. So mountains are, well, mountains. You guys have seen mountains before. They tend to have a certain line on them where no vegetation really grows above, called the tree line. And then below that there are varying types of vegetation depending on where in the world the mountains are. Here in America, in the Americas, they tend to be kind of forested going up to the mountains, or kind of like a grassland type thing leading up to them. Then I'm gonna go next to my temperate forests. So temperate forests are kind of like the forests we see here in Nebraska. If you guys have ever been somewhere where the leaves fall off in the summer. Oh my gosh, the leaves fall off in the fall, not the summer, at the end of the summer, sorry. And they kind of are the types of trees that we see around here, like oak and maple and things like that, not the types of trees you would see in like a tropical rainforest or a tropical forest. We also have a lot of conifers. So temperate forests are those, and then we have grasslands. That's like the prairies that we have here, or later on when we look at Africa, large areas of grass. They get enough rainfall for grass to grow, but they don't really get enough rainfall or have enough water sources for things like really big trees to often grow unless humans are intervening. And then we have deserts. So deserts don't have to be hot. They can also be cold, but they're areas of little rainfall, and that tend to be pretty, not deserted, but there's not a lot of dense vegetation because there's not enough water for a whole bunch of plants to grow really close together. It tends to be more spread out, and the plants that do live there and the animals that live there are used to living with either that high hot heat or high cold and not a lot of water. And then finally we have our tropical rainforest, which is rainforests that receive, forests that receive a lot of rain and a lot of water throughout the year. The foliage there, or the plant life, is very dense. We'll look at that a little bit more as we study each biome. And the wildlife that lives in the tropical rainforest is pretty different from that lives in the temperate forest, just because of how the weather changes in between those two areas. So what you guys are going to do is you have...
Wetlands.
Yes, wetlands. Thank you, Ms. Laura.
Mm-hmm.
So wetlands, which we don't have a lot of here in America. We have small patches of wetlands throughout, but our biome map here is looking at overall what is the biome of that area. So here in the grassland, there might be some patches along rivers and stuff, or lakes, where there are in fact wetlands, but they aren't the primary biome that is found in that area. So wetlands in the United States is kind of down here where Louisiana is, and Florida, the tip of Florida there. And wetlands are areas where there's a lot of water kind of around in the ground and on the ground, so things that are growing there kind of have to grow up through the water, kind of like swamps or marshes. So what you guys are going to do for this is you have a whole bunch of animals here that have kind of small pictures, and you have this page that is your key. So to start with, unless you need to see what like the picture maybe of an exact animal is, I'm going to have you not look at your control. And you're going to take your animals and you're going to try and place them based on what biome you think they live in. So I have a reindeer here, and I think reindeer live up here, kind of into Canada in the tundra area. The thing is, with a lot of these animals, you guys, they can live in more than one biome because animals can be adapted to live in more than one biome. What I put on the control and what I want you to think of is like the primary biome that like you would find them in. Because I know here we have jackrabbits. Rabbits live everywhere, but jackrabbits specifically are adapted to live in the desert with how big their ears are and how they are adapted to live with how their fur and stuff works. Or coyotes also are found quite a few places. So it's just really placing them where you think they're gonna fit. Most with what they're adapted to live in. It's gonna be a little bit tricky to get all of these on here. They might overlap a little bit as you're putting them on, but you're gonna go through and stick them on. But remember, the first thing you're gonna do is color your biome map so that it matches, and then do your animals, because that'll help you see what areas are which. Have a fun time.